Hey guys, Ray from Haloview RV, and as promised in the last video, I'm going to be reviewing the Haloview mirror dash cam. Now in the last video I reviewed the Caso dash cam, which is a pretty economically priced unit, about $129, but it is a wired unit, and it only can really fit a vehicle maybe 20 feet. This is more of an RV related type product, much more expensive. I think this goes for about $349. But it's totally wireless as far as signal transmission, so you can put it way back on the back of an RV and it'll still pick up to the tow vehicle. And it also even comes with an extra booster box to expand the range, just to make sure you get a solid signal even if your RV is like 40 feet long. So we'll take it out of the box and see what the parts are in there, and then I'll install it and give you a demo. And a quick update on that Caso mirror dash cam. One of my commenters said it might be an idea. What they do is see how much reflection I was complaining about. They say if you tilt it up a bit, that can really help with the reflection. There we go there. So yeah, that did help quite a bit, just tilting it up like that. But of course, when you turn it off again, then you're going to be out of whack, so you're going to have to tilt it back down, and then that's going to mess with your dash cam setting. But anyway, that was a good tip if anybody is interested in one of these. Still fairly dark. The picture on it isn't super bright, and that's cranked right up to the max there. Anyway, let's get at the Haloview, see if it's any better than this one. Okay, lots of stuff in the kit. So this is the display for this one, and you can compare. This is supposed to be a 10-inch display. The other one was a 12-inch. Pretty similar. It's more shaped like the rear view mirror. There's a little antenna that screws on the top here. And then this is the camera that you mount on the back of the RV. And then it has to be wired into a 12-volt source. Where Haloview also does have a battery box that's rechargeable that you can use if you don't want to be bothered trying to run a wire in for power. Usually people use the marker lights or something like that. And then it comes with this extender box and a big length of cable over there, probably 25 or 30 feet. So if you have a really long rig, you plug that into this wire here, and then you place the extender box up to the front of the RV, so that the distance between the display and the signal extender is quite short, so you'll get a really good clean signal, no dropouts or anything like that. And it looks like they also included a plate here and a thing for wiring into the Furrion. A lot of RVs come with the stock, they call it a Furrion camera mount. So I guess this thing is so you can plug that into that. And then this is an adapter plate that you put on the back of this, so it can just screw right in. Make it easy. And instructions. So let's hook it up onto the mirror and see how it looks. Give you a little closer look at it before I mount it. There's a power button on the bottom, some rubbery straps on the back, and then there's kind of a rubber mounting area there so you don't hurt your mirror. Here's the dash cam part of it, and it's adjustable. A little antenna fits in at the top there. You have a sensor up here, probably a light sensor. Then there's a USB power plug. And then they give you a flash card. They actually give you one. It sits in there, but it comes with a 32 gig compact flash, micro SD card right in there. So that's a nice touch. You don't have to go out and get one. This is model M10. And I forgot to mention that it came with a good long power cord with a cigarette lighter type adapter, so you can run it around the window and down underneath, hide the wires. There we be, and right away I can say it's much more useful in my opinion. Let's just compare See, the other one is pretty good, but that extra punch that the Haloview has makes all the difference when you got a lot of brightness going on. I actually think the Acaso has a little bit more sharpness to the picture, but because it's a little darker, it's not quite as good in my opinion for what you're using it for. Anyway, so there's the split screen. So this is the dash cam on this side. This is the actual wireless camera. Right there, you can see I just had it on a table pointed down the side of our RV park there. So maybe next what we'll do is I'll take this inside and then I can go through all the settings. It's got all kinds of touchscreen settings on it, so it'll be a little easier to get out of this bright sky behind it so you can get a little better look at it. Okay, so here's the camera screen. I have it pointed out the back of our RV right now into the estuary. Just touch that and you get a twin screen of the rear camera and the dash cam, or you can just click it and you get the dash cam. You can also swipe it and make it do the same thing, which is kind of neat. Turn the power off down here and you can see it becomes a rear view mirror, or you just touch anywhere and it comes back on. Swipe up brings this display settings here, and you got PAL or NTSC. So NTSC is North America, PAL is a different format for Europe and places like that. You can reverse, you can get a mirror image. Let's just go back here. For the rear camera you can hit reverse and it'll reverse the image so that you can use it as a rear view mirror when you're driving. Capture, you can click that and you'll take a picture of what's on the dash cams, and then there's the record button, so you can have both the cameras recording or not recording. Pairing is for setting up the rear camera to pair the frequency so that the two can talk to each other. And then you also have volume. Let's flip that up. Click the volume. You can have the speaker on or off because this thing can also record the sound or show you the sound. Then there's the settings. Brings up your settings screen here. So under picture, you can change the volume, the LCD brightness, contrast, saturation, color, and swipe down and you get auto dimming. So at night this isn't as bright. And there's also a picture-in-picture, so you can have a small screen showing the other camera while you're looking at the bigger screen. Swipe that up, go back. Recordings, you can change to different record modes. So there's full HD 1080p that it's recording in, movie quality, fine or super fine. Clip time, you can have it, let's just go into that. Clip time 10 minutes or 5 minutes per clip that it records, and then image size for your still photos. Still quality, fine or super fine. Sound record, you can tell which camera is going to record the sound. So cam 1, you could have it record what's happening inside the vehicle, the dash cam, or you could have it record the outside camera. And then panel off, never 1 minute. That's the screen saving. Back again, get playback, so you can play back different clips here right on the screen, or you could pull the SD card and take it in and play them on your computer. Format the card, park line, so you can come up with your parking line if you want it on for the backup, and then you can adjust the line on the screen just with your finger like that. You got clock settings, language, firmware version, reset to factory. So there you go. Settings are pretty good. A lot of reflection in here right now. You can see that's the only drawback of these mirrored systems. Because they're a mirror, a mirror, you do get a lot of reflection on them. So anyway, on the display here, I don't know if you can see up here, but there is the signal level cam. When you're recording, you get a flashing red light there. What kind of resolution you're recording at, and whether you're loop recording or not. And down here you have your time and date. So let's hook it up to the vehicle and take a drive, and then I'll record off of both cameras and we can get a look at the footage. Okay, let's take her for a drive test. Before we do, I'll show you what I've been using the last year or so. I'm using this small Haloview 5-inch display, and I've been mounting it on my mirror with just some hair scrunchy bungees. It's worked out pretty well. It gets it up right where the rear view mirror is, where I would naturally look. So you're looking at behind the rig right now, what's showing on the camera that's mounted on top of the rear of the rig. And it's worked really well. It allows me to see what's going on behind the RV as we're driving down the road. So I'm really interested in this one. I was really happy when they came out with this display, because it's going to be able to replace that and fit as a rear view mirror. Make it a little bit nicer and a wider screen, a little bit bigger screen for me. You can see there. And also when it's off, I'll have my ability to use it as a rear view mirror, like when I'm hooking up the rig. Usually I'd have to wait until I'd had everything hooked up before I'd strap this on. So let's take this one for a test, and I'll have both recording the front dash cam part of it and also the rear portion. All I've done is I've just taped it on the back of the truck for now so we can do a test. I'll mount it up so that sits there quite nicely. Those straps are really tight, really holds it onto the mirror. There's my back view, there's my split view, there's the front dash cam view, which you can adjust. Okay, so I got them set to both record. So we'll take her for a little drive, and then I'll show you what the footage looks like when I get back. Hard for my camera to pick up how bright it is. It's a little brighter than what it's showing there. Plenty bright enough for my eyes anyway. Here's what the rear camera recording looks like. A little bit soft as far as sharpness, but it's got pretty decent punch to it, contrast and brightness. And here's another rear camera view. You can see that the truck showing up there when I was doing a test. There we are in the background. So same thing, sharpness is a little bit of an issue, but it does have pretty good punch to it. Here's the front dash cam footage. And it's quite a bit sharper than the rear camera. Of course, it's not being transmitted wirelessly. It's coming straight off the front camera there. Little brightness is a little bit high, but I imagine that can be adjusted. Overall, not bad though. Well, it worked really good. I'm really happy with it. Next, I'm going to test the range. What I'm going to do is take the camera up on the rig, mount it with the repeater box. Then we'll take the truck for a drive and see how far the signal will hold. There's our rig, camped on the estuary. I'm a pretty good distance away. I'm over on the next section. Still got one bar. You can see the truck there. I am just moving along there. So I'm going to go out and drive along the road, see if it still picks up the signal. There I be. Okay, now let's go through some of my likes and dislikes, or things I think they can improve upon. Let's start with the likes. I like the form factor. I like the fact that you have a dash cam here. I also noticed, I didn't show this in the previous video clips, but this thing actually slides out like that, so aids in mounting on the mirror. Also, it's quite bright. Nice bright picture on it, and the mirror is pretty good quality when it's off. The build quality is pretty good on this thing too. I find all the Haloview stuff is pretty good as far as build quality, but it's definitely has a better plastic and feel than, you know, that last one, the little cheaper one, the Acaso model that I reviewed. It attaches quite firmly, so they did a good job with their mounting here with these straps. You don't feel like it's going to rattle or fall off in any way. Of course, it has excellent range thanks to this extra repeater box that you get, so it doesn't really matter what size your RV is, you're going to get a good strong signal when you set that up. And if you don't need it, you don't have to install that big long cord if you find your rig doesn't need it. But it's nice. I think it's 36 feet full worth of cord, so you can mount this towards the front of the rig. The touchscreen works really well. I was really surprised how responsive it was. And of course it records both cameras, and it came with a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which is a nice touch. I like when manufacturers actually include everything in the package. Okay, so what do we got as far as dislikes? As far as it being a dash cam, you have the dash cam and it works pretty well. It's got good resolution, but it's lacking a few features that normally come in a dash cam. It has no G-force sensor or parking monitor for, you know, security. If your vehicle gets bumped into, usually the modern dash cams will come on and record. Also, it doesn't have a built-in GPS, so you can't really track your trip with it through that. And if you do get in an accident, it won't give you the exact coordinates that it happened or anything like that. Kind of a little bit of a quibble, but got to go with what I find they could improve. Also, I find this section here, especially near the antenna, gets quite hot. I'm not sure why. It seems to reach a certain temperature and stay there, but after it's been running a while, right there is hot to the touch. Also, of course, being a rear view mirror, it does have reflections. I found I could minimize it by tilting it up a bit. But versus their normal display is sort of a matte finish, so you don't get as much reflections on it. Also, the camera here, the rear camera, is only a 720p resolution. The front is a full HD 1080p. So I did notice the footage coming out of this one was a little on the soft side. It had good colors and contrast and everything, but a little bit on the soft side. Also, because they only have 6 of these LEDs, the night vision is just okay. It's nothing to write home about. Also, one thing about this is you can only use the one camera, unlike a lot of their displays that can use up to 4 cameras. This one can only use the one camera. One other small dislike is the strange sound it makes when you cut power to it. The weird beeping goes on. One other item from Haloview that I really like is their battery pack. This thing charges in about 5 or 6 hours, and then it'll last many tow periods. Usually I'll tow for like 4 hours or so. And I found it'll last many days as long as you remember to turn it off between towing times. So I used this in this video just to do testing, and it really worked well. So that's for people who don't want to hardwire the rear view camera in. they don't want to drill a hole in their rig or anything, they can just mount this. It's got a magnetic mount, or you can screw it in somewhere and then just use that. So there you go. That's the Haloview RD10 10-inch HD 1080p wireless dual channel rear view observation mirror dash cam. Anyway, I give it a thumbs up. I'm going to switch over to this system as my main rear observation camera and take out the one I've been using. I'll probably package that up, and maybe down the road I'll do a giveaway to the channel. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'll put in a new playlist. I've got quite a few of these Haloview videos now. I really like the Haloview camera system, so I'm going to put in a playlist and I'll link to that. So if you want to go back and watch other videos I've done on the Haloview cameras, you can go do that. Till next time, Ray from HalovieWRD10 Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.